welcome back to the online learning channel. Today we're going to be doing number sentences, and we're going to be focusing on different types of number sentences like fact families. We're going to look at different methods of adding using number sentences, as well as number sentences in word problems. Today's lesson is going to be slightly different. I'm going to give you activities based on the aspects that we cover, and I'm going to mark these activities with you. So please pay attention when you have to do these activities. Right, so sit back, enjoy, and I know you're going to do well today. I'm going to now go to the PowerPoint presentation to help you with this. From that video clip, it's showing us again fact families where we use addition and subtraction. And it's giving us the 4 facts where we add the two numbers, 15 and 25 to get 40, 25 and 15 to get 40. Or we can use subtraction where the biggest number, which is 40, minus 15 is 25, or 40 minus 25 gives me 15. Now the same 3 numbers has been used in 4 different number sentences to give us answers at the end. Right, now we can also do the same thing for division, multiplication and division. Multiplication and division can be done in the same way, where we have 3 numbers. For example, I've got 54, I've got 6, and I've got 9, and I've got 24, 4, and 6. Now, what can I do here with these numbers? I can say 6 times 9 gives me 54, or 9 times 6 gives me 54. Or I can take 24 and say 4 times 6 gives me 24, or 6 times 4 gives me 24. Now, division, I will take the biggest number, which is 54, divided by 6 will give me 9, or 54 divided by 9 will give me 6. Same way with 24. 24 divided by 4 will give me 6, or 24 divided by 6 will give me 4. Now, we can use these, and these will make up our fact families for multiplication and division. Watch this clip, and we'll do more of the examples.
Hi, Giraffe. Why do you look so glum?
Hello, Elephant. I have been working on my homework, but division is just so hard. I can't figure it out.
How can that be? You are the best multiplier in our class. Division should be easy for you.
What do you mean? What does multiplication have to do with division?
Weren't you paying attention in class today? Mrs. Monkey said that multiplication and division are related in fact families. If you know your multiplication facts, you can divide. For example, if the problem is 56 dividing by 8, you can think 8 times what equals 56. Since you know that 8 times 7 equals 56, you also know that 56 divided by 8 equals 7.
Oh, that is easy. Let me try this next problem. 24 divided by 6. Well, I know that 6 times 4 equals 24, so 24 divided by 6 must be 4.
That is correct.
Let me try another one. 49 divided by 7. Let me think. 7 times 7 equals 49, so 49 divided by 7 must be 7.
Giraffe, you are on a roll. That is also correct.
Wow. Now that I know that multiplication and division are related, the rest of these problems will be easy. Do you want to meet me at the pond when I am finished with my homework?
That sounds great. I will see you soon.
Well, that reiterates what I just explained to you here now to get number facts for multiplication and division. So what it's saying is a fact family is a group of math facts with the same numbers, using the same numbers. In case of multiplication and division, you will use these 3 numbers as well. So let's go 54, 6, and 9. Again, 6 times 9 is equal to 54, or 9 times 6 is equal to 54. There's 2 facts. The next one is 54 divided by 6 will give me 9, or 54 divided by 9 will give me 6. So that's another 2. So altogether, we've got 4 facts, or 4 number sentences, which makes up a fact family. Again, with 24, 4 times 6 is equal to 24, or 6 times 4 is equal to 24. Or I could say 24 divided by 4 is equal to 6, or 24 divided by 6 is equal to 4. Again, another 4 facts using number sentences, which gives us another fact family. And there's it here broken down to you again. 9 times 6 is equal to 54, or 6 times 9 is equal to 54, or 54 divided by 6 will give me 9, or 54 divided by 9 will give me 6. The same with the 24. 6 times 4 is equal to 24, or 4 times 6 is equal to 24. 24 divided by 4 is equal to 6, or 24 divided by 6 is equal to 4. So that's simple. You need to make up a fact family, you need 4 facts. And you will use either addition or subtraction, or multiplication and division. Now I've got an activity here for you to try. So let's see how you're going to do this. I'll give you about 5 minutes or so, and then we will go through the answers together. Whilst doing it, remember how we did the other ones. Remember the videos you watched. It's going to help you. And remember, fact families have 3 numbers, and you'll have 4 facts for each one. I'm glad you figured out that this fact family is to do with addition and subtraction. So you're doing well so far. Almost there. We're going to go through the answers just now. Okay, all done. Let's start with the answers. Let's go through the first one. What are our 4 facts here using addition and subtraction? The first one we've got is 15 plus 30 gives us 45. And or 30 plus 15 will give us 45. The other 2 facts with subtraction will be 45 minus 15 will give me 30, or 45 minus 30 will give me 15. So tick your answers. I'm sure you've got all those ones correct. Let's go to the next one. The next one tells you 25 plus 75 will give me 100, or 75 plus 25 will give me 100. And then subtraction will be the biggest number. 100 minus 25 will give me 75, or 100 minus 75 will give me 25. So here again, 4 number sentences, 4 facts, which makes up a fact family. Let's go to the next one. Well done if you've got all right. Right, now let's look at the multiplication and division fact families. I'll give you about 2 or 3 minutes. Let's see how you get through to this one before we do the answers together. Remember, 3 numbers, 4 facts, only using multiplication and division. Good, you should be done with the first one. Now you should be going on to your third one. Well done. Let's go through the answers now. The first one, We said multiplication and division. So my first answer should be 2 times 8, which is equal to 16, or 8 times 2, which will give me 16. When I'm dividing, I'll start with my biggest number. 16 divided by 2 will give me 8, or 16 divided by 8 will give me 2. Well done if you've got all right there. Let's go to the next one. Here again, 4 times 7 will give me 28, or 7 times 4 will give me 28. When I'm dividing again, I'll start with the biggest number. 28 divided by 4 is equal to 7, or 28 divided by 7 is equal to 4. So in this actual fact, when you're looking at it, we are using inverse operations. And for each one so far, you can see we've got 4 number sentences, 4 facts, which makes up a family of facts, or fact of families. Let's go to the next one. 3 numbers, again, 8, 9, and 72. Let's see what you've got. Right, the first one tells me 8 times 9 is equal to 72, or 9 times 8 is equal to 72. Or 72 divided by 8 is equal to 9, or 72 divided by 9 is 8. Again, 4 facts, 4 number sentences, which makes up a fact family. Well done if you've got all right. Let's go to the next one now. Right, let's go back to number sentences. Number sentences are simply words or numerical expressions of a word problem. What does that mean? It means that we use number sentences to express a word problem. Right? We're going to explain a word problem in the form of a number sentence. It is also a mathematical sentences made up of numbers and signs. So we have your numbers, you have your signs like your plus, your minus, your times, division, equal to sign, unequal to sign, greater than or less than signs. We will come to that just now. The expressions given in examples indicate equality or inequality, which tells you whether it is equal to or unequal to. If the both sides don't balance, then you know it's unequal. If it balances, it's equal to. Here we've got all the different numbers that we use, telling you what a number sentence is made up of. Here's your numbers. Here's your mathematical operations and your signs and symbols. And there's full number sentences on this right-hand side. Yes. For example, 4 plus 5 equals to 9, or 8 minus 2 is equal to 6. Now, when we're talking about equality or inequality, for example, 4 plus 8 is equal to 12. It's equal to, so we know this left-hand side balances with the right-hand side. 5 plus 6 is equal to 12, which is incorrect. Why is it incorrect? Because it doesn't balance. 5 plus 6 is 11, so it's not equal to 12. 10 plus 5 is greater than 11. 10 plus 5 is 15. 11 is smaller, so it is greater than, it's bigger. 15 plus 2 is 17, which is less than 25, which is true. It is less than 25. Now, types of number sentences. We get different types of number sentence. Again, a number sentence can use any of the mathematical operations from addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. The symbols used in any number sentence vary depending on the type of number sentence you're using, and they'll indicate what we're supposed to have. Number sentences can be true or they may not be true. What do we mean by that when we say true or false? Right, we've got 15 plus 5 is equal to 20. Yes or no? If I add 15 to 5, I'm going to get 20, so I can use the equal to sign there. It makes sense. It is true. Both my sides are balancing. My left-hand side is showing me 20, and my right-hand side is 20. Here, the equal to signs indicates a balance on both sides. There could also be number sentences which say, for example, 15 plus 10 is equal to 30. This is not true. Right? So, that's, if I have to ask you to answer that, you'll say false. But if I say 15 plus 10 is equal to 25, it is true. Let's look at types of number sentences on the side. You've got addition number sentence. 4 plus 5 is equal to 9. You've got a subtraction number sentence. 8 minus 2 is equal to 6. Then you've got a multiplication sentence. 2 times 3 is equal to 6. Or a division sentence, which is 9 divided by 3 is equal to 3. Then you can have a less than number sentence. 1 plus 5, which is 6. And on my right-hand side, I have 7. So it's less than. Or you'll get a greater than number sentence. 9 minus 2 is equal to 7. And my answer on the right-hand side is 4, so it's bigger than 4, so it's greater than. Or you can get algebraic sentences, which we'll do in a higher grade. A plus B is equal to C. And then you've got a fraction number sentence, which is a quarter plus 2 quarters will give me 3 quarters. So here we have all the different types of number sentences that you can get. A number sentence, again, we said is not necessarily has to be true. Every number sentence gives us information, and that's how we will identify what type of number sentence it is. And based on the information provided, it is possible to change the statement from false to true or true to false. For example, 15 plus 10 is equal to 30. Now, if I add 15 to 10, am I going to get 30? Think about the answer. No, it's going to be 25. Very good. So 15 plus 10, I cannot use the equal to sign anymore. So 15 plus 10 we know is equal to 25. That's true. So now I'm going to change my sign to make it false. So I'm going to say 15 plus 10 is unequal to 30. There's my unequal to sign here. Now it's going to be true. So I changed my false answer to true using the unequal to sign. Now again, a number sentence contains numbers, mathematical operations, equal or inequality signs. For example, 15 plus 10 is unequal to 20. We know 15 plus 10 is 25, so it's not equal to 20. Or 15 plus 10 is equal to 25, so I'll keep the equal to sign there because it's correct. So on this side here, the left-hand side doesn't balance out with the right-hand side, so it's unequal to. But here, the left-hand side balances with the right-hand side, so we use equal to. Now, in a number sentence, if signs are removed, it will no longer be called a number sentence. It doesn't give us information anymore because it will not make any sense to us by reading it without signs or symbols. So for example, 15 plus 10 is not enough to understand what the question is that's to be solved here. If we write 15 plus 10 and 25 next to it, it makes no sense because we can't read it with no signs in it. For example, I don't have an equal to sign, or don't have an unequal to sign, or a greater than sign, or less than sign. So 15 plus 10, 25 makes no sense to me. I can't gather any information from that. But if I write signs and operations with my group of numbers, it makes sense to me. So for example, here as well, I've got plus and I've got equal to with no numbers. Again, no information given. So I don't have a full group of numbers with my signs and symbols. Therefore, it wouldn't make sense as a number sentence. So we must always remember a number sentence always has to have a group of numbers with signs and symbols. Now, state whether the following sentences are true or false. Explain and apply your rules for this activity that I give you now. I'll give you a few minutes, 1 or 2 minutes. You can work through it fast and tell me whether it's true or false. Give reasons for your answer when you are attempting this. Look at your signs, your symbols. Look at your rules that we did. Apply them here now. Right now, you'll attempt an activity, right, by applying your rules. You've got to see for the following activity if both sides of your equation balances and whether it's the correct symbol in between, whether it's plus, minus, greater than, less than, whether it's correct. So look at it carefully, see if it makes sense before you write your answer true or false. We will do the answers in the next few minutes. Should be halfway done. Okay, let's go through the answers. Now let's look at the first one. 50 minus 35 is equal to 35 minus 50. Now, immediately we know that 35 cannot minus 50. Our answer will not be the same as 50 minus 35. Therefore, it's false. Number 2, 45 minus 32 is not equal to 45 minus 32. That's false. The sign is supposed to be equal to because it's exactly the same on both sides, and my answer will be exactly the same. Let's look at the next one. 50 plus 25 is equal to 25 plus 50. That is true because both sides are equal to each other. 75 on the left-hand side and 75 on the right-hand side. Let's go to the next one. 79 divided by 1 is greater than 1. So 79 divided by 1 is 79. So it is greater than, so it's true. Next one, 64 times 1 is equal to 64. True. Again, property of 1, which we'll do just now. 64 times 1 is equal to 64, which will mean any number times 1 will be the same number. Next one, 24 divided by 3 is not equal to 8. That is false because we've got 8 groups of 3 in 24, so my answer will be 8. So 24 divided by 3 is 8. The answer is false because we're supposed to have an equal to sign, not the unequal to sign. So there's the equal to sign here. We're supposed to replace it with that. So the answer is false. 82 divided by 82 is equal to 1. True. Property of 1 again. Any number divided by itself is equal to 1. Remember that. 75 times 0 is less than 45. What is 75 times 0? We have to establish that first. 75 times 0 is 0. Any number times 0 is 0. That is the property of whole numbers. So 0 is less than 45, which is true. Therefore, we use the less than sign there. So there's the explanation on the right-hand side. Less than sign is correct. Properties of 0. So we know that 79 times 0 is equal to 0. And 0 is less than 45. So it is true. Next one, 84 times 1 is equal to 84 on the left-hand side. Yes. And then we know it's less than 100. So 84 is less than 100. There's the less than sign here. So the answer is true. And the last one, 36 times 1 is equal to 36. And we know it is greater than 12. It's bigger than 12. So my answer is true again. So well done there if you've got all right. Now we're going to look at the properties of 1 and 0. Let's look at the first property of 0. When you add or subtract 0 from a number, the number will stay the same. Again, when you add or subtract 0 from any number, the number will stay the same. And we're talking about whole numbers. So for example, 50 plus 0 is equal to 50. So the number remains the same. Again, 50 minus 0, the answer remains the same because we are not adding anything or we're not removing anything. So the answer will remain the same. That's the first property of 0 you have to remember. Let's look at the next property. If you subtract a number from itself, the number is always 0. Say for example, 50 minus 50. So 50 is minusing itself. My answer will be 0 because whatever number you have in the front and you take away that whole number, you have nothing left. So the answer will always be 0. So if you subtract a number from itself, the number is always 0. Now we look at the property of 1. When you multiply a number by 1, the number will stay the same. So for example, 15 times 1, my answer will be 15. 258 times 1, my answer will be 258. So whatever number you multiply by 1, your answer will always remain the same. Next property of 1. When you divide a number by itself, you will get an answer of 1 always. So if I take a number, for example, 15, I'm dividing 15 by itself. My answer will be 1. 258, I'm dividing it by itself. My answer will be 1. So whatever number you take and you divide it by itself, your answer will always be 1. Let's go back. Property of 0, when you add or subtract 0 to any whole number, your answer will be the same as that whole number. When you subtract a number from itself, the answer will always be 0. When you multiply a number by 1, the answer will remain as that number. But if you divide a number by itself, your answer will always be 1. Right? So remember those facts. Go over it before you attempt this activity. I'll give you a few minutes to do the activity and we'll go through the answers. I will explain how we got to each of the answers when I'm doing it with you. I've given you a little challenge at the bottom. Let me see how you get those answers and work it out. Now it should be on the challenge section of properties of 0. Good. Now it should be on properties of 1. It's easy when you're applying the properties that we've just done now. I bet we're all on the challenge now. Great. Now let's go through the answers. Right. First, we're starting with properties of 0. First one says 65 minus 65. So we said when a number subtracts itself, the answer is always 0. So your first answer should be 0. Well done. Next one, 42 minus 0. I told you if you're not taking out anything from a number, the answer will stay the same. So any number subtract 0, your answer remains the same. So my answer is 42. Again, any number added to 0 will always remain the same because we're not putting anything in. So 56 plus 0 will be 56. Again, we're adding 0 to a number, it will remain the same. 72 plus 0 is 72. Here again, we are subtracting 0 from a number, it will stay the same. 64 minus 0 is 64. And when we subtract a number from itself, the answer is always 0. So 45 minus 45 is 0. Let's go to the challenge. First one says 80 minus 6 plus 6. So let's look at 80 minus 6. If I minus 6 from 80, I'm going to get 74. Then I'm going to add 6 to 74, which is going to bring me back to my number of 80. Well done if you got 80 as your answer. Now remember, your minus 6 and your plus 6 will cancel off. So you'll have 0 there. So it'll basically be 80 minus 0 will give me 80. So again, 80 minus 6 is 74. And if I add 6 to 74, I'm going to get 80. The next one is the same. 565 plus 5 will give me 570. 570 minus 5 will give me my answer of 565. Then you've got 55 plus a certain number will give me 55. Now, properties of 0, it will be 0. 55 plus 0 will give me 55. Next one, 450 plus 15 minus a certain number will get me back to 415. So it's going to be like our first challenge summary. So 450 plus 15 will give me 465. 465 minus 15 will give me back 450. So my answer there was 15. Well done if you've got all right. Let's go to the properties of 1. The first one, 15 times 1. We said any number times 1 will remain the same. So my answer is 15. Then 156 divided by 156. Any number divided by itself, the answer is 1. So 156 divided by 156 is 1. 269 times 1. Again, any number times 1 remains the same. So it's 269. 360 divided by 360 is equal to 1. Any number divided by itself will give you the answer of 1. 2,500 divided by 2,500. Again, a number is divided by itself. My answer is 1. Here, the number is times by 1. Remember, the answer will be the same as the number. 4,296 times 1 gives me 4,296. Now, let's go to the challenge. 345 divided by a certain number is equal to 1. Remember, a number divided by itself will give me 1, so it's 345. Next one. 425 times something will give me 425. Remember properties of 1. Any number times 1 will give you that answer, so it's times 1. 628 again, divided by itself, 628 will give me 1. And 2,300 times 1 will give me the same answer as 2,300. Well done if you've got all right there. Now let's look at the next one. Different ways of adding. Now we're going to look at different ways of adding. There's 3 methods of adding. We're going to go through each one. Then I'm going to do an activity using one set of numbers to do the 3 methods. First method. Numbers, when added, can be added in any order. Now remember, only when we're adding, we can add numbers in different order to get the same answer. What do I mean by this? So, for example, I've got 25 plus 15 gives me 40. Now I'm going to change the order of the numbers. I could either say 15 plus 25 will give me 40. The answer will still be the same. Whichever order I add numbers, the answer will be the same, as long as I am adding them. Let's look at the next one. A bigger number now. 225 plus 600 gives me 825. Or I can change it to 600 plus 225. I change the order again. I still got 825. Remember, only when we adding. Then we've got 1,200 plus 2,000 gives me 3,200. Or I change the order. 2,000 plus 1,200 will give me 3,200. Now I've got 3 sets of numbers. 250 plus 300 plus 100 gives me 650. Now I change the orders of the numbers in different places. 300 plus 100 plus 250 still gives me 650. So I can change the orders of my numbers only when I am adding numbers. The next method, method 2. I decompose both numbers. What is decompose? Decompose means I'm going to break down the number. Decompose means breaking down the number. Let's look at how we're going to do that. So my example again, I'll use the same example. Example 25 plus 15. I put it in 2 different colors so we can see the 2 different numbers and how it's broken down. Now, first of all, I put my value of the number so I don't confuse the numbers. So I've got tens, units, tens, and units. These numbers, you can see 25, tens and units, tens and units. So I broke down 25 into 20 plus 5. So the 20 goes on the tens column and the 5. If I expand this, I'm getting 20 and 5. If I expand this, I'm getting 10 and 5. So if added together, it'll give me 25, it'll give me 15. Now I will group them together. I'll put the tens together and I'll put the units together. So 20 plus the 10 are my tens, and 5 plus the 5 will be my units. So I group them so it's easier for me to add. So if I add the 20 and the 10, I'm getting 30. And if I add the 5 and the 5, I'm getting 10. So it's 30 plus 10, and my answer is 40. So it's another way of adding. You see which method is easier for you, but I'm doing the 3 methods, which you are going to do again for me later on. Let's look at the third method. The third method, you keep the first number whole as it is and you decompose the second number. Again, decompose means to break down the number. What does decompose mean? Break down the number. So let's look at the same example, 25 plus 15. So here again, I left the first number whole. I broke down the second number into 10 plus 5. So it's 25 plus 10 plus 5, which gives me 15. Now when I'm adding, I'm going to add the first 2 numbers. So I said 25 plus 10 will give me an answer plus 5. So I bracketed it so I don't confuse myself. Now 25 plus 10, if I add 25 to 10, I'm going to get the answer of 35. Now 35 plus 5, I'll add it now and I'll get an answer of 40. So there's our 3 methods of adding. The first one, you can change the order of the numbers, you get the same answer. The second one, you decompose or break down both numbers into their specific values. And the last one, you will keep the first number whole and you'll decompose the second number. These methods, remember, only work for addition. When you change the order in which you subtract numbers, your answer will not be the same. For example, if I try it with subtraction, 60 minus 20 is not equal to 20 minus 60. That means the answers on both sides are not the same. On this side, I will have 40. On this side, I'll have a minus number. So it will definitely not be the same. Right, look at the following sum and the three methods. I'm going to do the three methods with one sum. So I've got 654 plus 78. Now, our first method again, remember what's my first method? I'm going to change the order of the sum to get my answer. I'll get the same answer. So method one, I've got 654 plus 78, which gives me 732. Or I can change it to 78 plus 654, which gives me 732. Method 2, 654 plus 78. Method 2 says decompose both the numbers, which means I'm going to break down both the numbers. So my first number, I broke it down into 600 plus 50 plus 4. Now, my next number is 70 plus 8. There's no hundreds here. It's only 70 plus 8. Next step, I'm going to group the values. Remember, we grouped the values. So I'm going to say 600 plus 50 and 70, which is my tens, and 4 plus 8, which is my units. So I got 600, 50 plus 70 gives me 120, and 4 plus 8 gives me 12. Then my next step, 600 plus 100 plus 20. Now I'm breaking down 120 into 100 plus 20. So I know the 20s will go into my tens unit. And then I broke down 12 into 10 plus 2. So the 20 and the 10 are going to go together in my next step, and the 2 will be on its own. So here, let's look at this. I've got 600 plus the 100 from there. I've got the 20 plus the 10 from there, and then I've got the 2. Now it's easier for me to add. So I've got 700. 600 plus 100 gives me 700. 20 plus 10 gives me 30 plus 2, which gives me 732. That's my second method. Now let's go to the third method. Now the third method, we keep the first number whole and we decompose the second number. Right, so 654 plus 78. I'm going to say 654 plus 70 plus 8. So I decompose the second number only into 70 plus 8. Now, 654 plus 70, I put it in brackets, so I know what I'm going to do first, what I'm going to add first, and then I'm going to add the 8 after that, which is the second number. Now, sometimes it's difficult for you to add it like this mentally, so you will work it out. I'm going to show you how to work it out. So when I work out that, 654 plus 70, it gives me 724 plus 8. Then I will get my final answer of 732. Now, how are we going to work it out? In the block on your right-hand side, you can see I broke down the sum here to show you how to work it out on a page so you don't get the incorrect answer. So I got 654 plus 70. There's my first step here, and I added, I got 724, which makes it easier for me, and I know I don't have the incorrect answer. Then I've got 724 plus 8, and I've got my answer of 732. Now this will help you to get the correct answer so you don't lose any marks. So all three steps in one. My first method, my second method, and my third method. First method, you can add the sums in different order. Second method, decompose both sides and get your answer. And the third method, you keep the first number whole and you decompose or break down the second number. I hope you understood that. If you didn't, you can go back, view the slides, and then you can attempt the activity. I've given you two sums here, which I want you to do. Let's see if we can do it now, and then we'll go over it. I've got the answers for you. I told you today's lesson, we're going to mark it together. So let's see how you do it now. Yeah, now you should be on your second method. Remember, if you find it difficult to add it mentally, have a page, you can work it out and you can put in your answer. Once you follow the steps, it's quite simple to complete these sums. And you've got different ways of adding, which makes it easier for you. You can use it. You can use whichever method suits you, which makes it easier for you to complete the sum. Right, now you should be on number 2. Again, remember the rules. First method, add in any order. Second method, decompose both sides and then group the values and add them, which makes it easier. And your third method, leave the first number whole and decompose it or break down the second number, and then you can add it. Right, let's go through the answers. The first one. Method 1, 324 plus 102 is equal to 426. Or I can say 102 plus 324 is equal to 426. So here again, method 1, I change the order of the addition sum. Method 2, again, decompose or break down both sides. So took the first number, 300 plus 20 plus 4 plus 100 plus 0 plus 2. I broke it down. Now I'm grouping the values. Let's go through the values. 300 plus 100. I took both the hundreds. 20 plus 0, the tens, and 4 plus 2, which is my units. Next one. I'm going to add them now. So 300 plus 100 gives me 400. 20 plus 0 is 20, and 4 plus 2 is 6. So my final answer is 426. Now that was easy to add because I broke it down. Let's go to method 3. Here we're going to leave the first number whole. We're going to decompose or break down the second number. Now in the block on the right hand side, as we're going along, you'll see how we added there to make it easier so we don't make mistakes. Now 324 is left whole. I broke down 100 plus 0 plus 2. Next step, I'm going to take the 324 plus the 0. 324, sorry, plus the 100. Bracket it, add it before I add the 0 and the 2. So 324 plus 100 gives me 424. There you can see on the right hand side, I've added it here. Now, 424 plus 0, you know is 424. Remember, our property of 0, any number added to 0 would remain the same. So it's 424 plus 2 now. 424 plus 2. So there, I worked it out here. You can work it on a page. And my final answer is 426. Excellent if you worked it out the way I showed you. Well done to you. Let's look at the next one. 495 plus 124. Again, method 1, you can add the number in any order. You'll get the same answer. So 495 plus 124 is equal to 619, or 124 plus 495 will give me 619. Method 2, again, decompose both sides. Excellent. You're going to break down both sides. So 400 plus 90 plus 5 plus 100 plus 20 plus 4. Now what we're going to do, group the values. So I'll put the hundreds in the hundreds column, tens in the tens, and units. 400 plus 100, 90 plus 20, 5 plus 4. Now I've got 500. 400 plus 100 will give me 500. 90 plus 20 will give me 110. 5 plus 4 will give me 9. Now this 110, remember I've got hundreds and tens here. So I've got to decompose this further. So now I'm going to say 500 plus 100 plus 10. I broke it down now, plus 9. Now I'll take the hundreds from here. I'll add it to the 500 and the 10 will be on its own. Right, so this is what I did now. I explained to you 500 plus 100 plus 10 plus 9. So 500 plus 100 is going to give me 600 plus 10 plus 9, and my final answer will be 619. That's method 2. We decompose both sides and we added it. Now it's method 3. Method 3, we leave the whole number, the first number as whole, and we decompose the second number. So we got 495 plus 100 plus 20 plus 4. Again, I'm going to show you on the right hand side here how we're going to add the numbers if you can't do it mentally. So 495 plus 100 will give me 595. Then after I've got that answer, I add the 20 to that answer. So 595 plus 20, and then I'll add the 4 to it. So 595 plus 20 will give me 615 plus 4, and my final answer is 619. So this is on the right hand side in the block. This is how I worked it out. 495 plus 100 gave me 595. I put it in here. Then I added 20 plus 4. Then 595 plus 20 gives me 615. There's my answer, plus 4. Then I worked out the final answer and I put it down there. And that's how we get our 3 answers. Excellent. I'm sure you did well for that. So here's a smiley face for all you ones that got it right. Right. Now, when we come to word problems, I told you we're going to do word problems using number sentences. We've got to look at the 4 operations. Now, the 4 operations here have words in it that will help you identify what operation to use when you're reading a number sentence. So, for example, when you're looking at addition, you'll have words like add, plus, and, total, increase, more, sum, together. These are clues to tell you you've got to add in those sums. Subtraction, you'll have words like take away, minus, less, reduce, remain, take from, fewer, take, difference, how many more. There's also an indication that you've got to do subtraction in the sum. Then you've got multiplication. Example, multiply, times, product, multiplied by, groups of, lots of, doubled, times tables. That's to indicate a multiplication sum. Division, divided by, share, divide, divide into, divisible by, group, each, or share equally. When you see words of these in a word problem, then it tells you what type of sum it is, whether it's addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. Use this as a guide to help you identify. Now, let's look at word problems and how we're going to write it in number sentence form. Now, let's look at some problem-solving activities and how we're going to use number sentences. Now, remember, we've done all the words that come into addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Use them as clues, right? A recap of what a number sentence is. A number sentence is simply the numerical expression of a word problem. So it means we're writing out a word problem in number form. Now here's an example. It says, Tamsin has found 4 shells. Her friend gave her 6 more. And her mum bought her 8 more. How many shells does Tamsin have altogether? Now, what are my clues there? I've got the word more here and I've got it here. So this means that I've got to add all the numbers. So the word more tells me to add 4 plus 6 plus 8, which gives me 18 shells. So there's my number sentence here. From the word problem, I derive my number sentence, and I know the word more gives me a clue to add. So my number sentence will be 4 plus 6 plus 18 plus 8 is equal to 18 shells. Let's look at another example. Jeff had 15 fish. His mom bought him 5 more. 3 of Jeff's fish died. How many fish does Jeff have left? Now remember, your operation sign does not have to be the same. So the word more tells me that I've got to add. There's the word more here, so I've got to add 5 more. Now if something dies, obviously it's lost, so 3 died. So I'm going to subtract 3. So my number sentence will read 15 plus 5, which is what they bought. I'll have to add it on, and 3 that died I'm minusing. So 15 plus 5 gives me 20, minus the 3, 20 minus 3 gives me 17 fish. So again, the word more is the clue to add, and the word died tells me we've lost something, so we've got to subtract. Let's look at another example. Right, it says, Susan has 4 stickers. Her friend Mary has 5 times more than Susan. How many stickers does Susan have? Again, my clue here is times. Times means multiplication, so I'm going to multiply now. So I'm going to say 4 times 5. There's my 2 numbers, 4 stickers. She has 5 times more than that, so 4 times 5 gives me 20 stickers. So my number sentence will read 4 times 5 is equal to 20. Another example, Sean has 25 chocolates. He shared it equally among 5 of his friends. How much does each friend get? Now, again, shared it equally tells me I've got to divide. So I'm going to take the whole number 25, divide it by the 5 friends, and my answer will be 5. So 25 divided by 5 is equal to 5. That's my number sentence. Right, this is an activity. Let me give you a minute or 2 to look at each one, see what operation you're going to use and how you're going to get your answer. I will do the answers just now with you. It's on the next slide. Look at the clues. Remember, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division gives you clues or words that you can use to help you identify whether you're going to use addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. It guides you as to which operation to use. Sure you're done with the first one. Good, you must be going on to your third one now. I've given you simple numbers, so it makes it easier for you to work out. Okay, now we're on the last one. Remember, use your clues. Great, let's go through the answers now. Let's look at number one. Number one says, Tim is in the school soccer team. In the first match, he scored 4 goals. In his second match, he scored 5 goals. And in the third match, he scores 3 goals. How many goals does he score altogether? Now, again, altogether tells you to add. If you go back to your rules, you'll know it tells you to add. So I know I've got to add the numbers. There's my number sentence for the word problem. 4 plus 5 plus 3 is equal to 12. Right? Let's look at the next one. Mr. Smith has 210 chickens on his farm. He sold 100 chickens. How many chickens remain on Mr. Smith's farm? So the word remain tells you I've got a minus, and sold tells you that he got rid of it, so I have to take it out. So remain and sold tells you that you have to subtract. So 210 minus 100 gives my number sentence here. 210 minus 100 gives me 110 chickens. So can you see how we are taking a word problem and making a number sentence for it? Stacy has 200 rand. Samantha has 3 times the amount Stacy has. How much does Samantha have? Again, the word times tells you I've got to multiply. So 200 rand times 3 gives me 600 rand. So I've converted this word problem into a number sentence, and it says 200 rand times 3 is equal to 600 rand. Let's do one more, the last one. The last one says, Mrs. Blake baked 24 cupcakes for her daughter's pamper party. If there were 6 girls at the party, how many cupcakes will each girl get? Now the word each again tells you you've got to divide. If I go back to my clues. So my number sentence for this word problem says 24 divided by 6 is equal to 4 cupcakes. So thank you. I'm sure you've got all right. Therefore, you are now a superstar. Well done. See you soon for the next lesson.